Good afternoon, YouTube. Man, does it feel good to be back doing what I love, and that is talking about what's going on in the world of sports. Sorry I've been MIA the last few weeks, but hey, that's the military life for you. This NFL free agency has been crazy. Teams be like, I want Deshaun Watson, I want Tyreek Hill, I want Matt Ryan for a few years and then go back on the QB market again. Look, I don't want to make waves. Oh wait, yes I do, because that's what this channel is all about. But this whole NFL free agency has been motherfucking crazy! How crazy has it been? Well, let's get into the video and I'll tell you all about it. No Mercy Sports coming at you, baby!
Nobody can stop me now.
Holy fucking shit. That's probably the best way to sum up what's been happening since I left in the world of sports. First things first, though. The roller coaster ride between the Packers and Rodgers is finally over. Rodgers signed a 4-year, $200 million extension. Now, what this means is that the NFC North belongs to the Packers for the next 4 fucking years. But with the contract extension, does this mean the Packers are still a championship contending team? I don't know about championship contending, but since 2020, we have wondered whether or not Rodgers was going to come back to the Packers or cut his losses and go somewhere else like fucking Denver. Speaking of Denver, big news with them, but we'll get to that in a moment. For now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. The Packers giving Rodgers little to no help on offense. Now with a 4-year extension, the Packers better do what they can to get Rodgers some help. More so offensively because he fucking deserves it. We saw this past year he was constantly going to Adams against the 49ers in the NFC Championship, but didn't have anyone else he could rely on to get the ball to. Now people keep saying that Rodgers makes his receivers, but which receiver is he going to turn into a Pro Bowler this coming year? Lazard? Maybe. I think he's got some potential. Randall Cobb? Yeah, okay. I doubt he'll be back to where he was during his first stint in Green Bay. Hopefully, now that Rodgers has resigned with them, they'll get him the offensive help he fucking deserves. Speaking of Adams, it looks as though the connection between Rodgers and him is done, because Adams is headed to fucking Vegas. In return, the Packers got 2 2022 picks from the Raiders, including their first-round pick. Green Bay better put that pick to good use, otherwise they could slowly be on the decline and go back to being Chicago's bitch and continue to have early exits in the playoffs. Now with Rodgers staying in Green Bay, even though it seemed like he was going to go to Denver, not only with the receiving core that they have, but also former Packers offensive coordinator Nate Hackett as the new head coach. The Broncos have a new quarterback, though. It ain't Aaron Rodgers. No, it's Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson. The Seahawks and the Broncos came to a deal that would send Wilson and a 4th-round pick to Denver, while Seattle would get Drew Lock, Noah Fant, Shelby Harris, 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and a 5th-round pick. Great fucking Scott, as if the AFC West couldn't be any more stacked than it already is. Move over, Kansas City. There's a possible new sheriff in town. With Wilson coming to the Mile High City, the Broncos stock just seriously increased for them to not only come out of the AFC West, but also come out of the AFC as possible Super Bowl contenders. Man, what a fucking season it is going to be this coming year. I cannot wait. Woo! We already have 2 Super Bowl favorites for this coming season, but some other teams are hungry to make a run and win the championship. Aside from the Chiefs and the Broncos, I can honestly see the Raiders making a run this year. And plus, with the addition of Josh McDaniels as their new head coach, no doubt he's going to have a better run this year than the shit show he had to deal with in Denver. Moving on, though, to the AFC East. You already know I'm taking the Bills and Patriots. The Bills, for obvious reasons, because Josh Allen is under center, and Patriots because Mac Jones has come into his own, and, well, Bill Belichick. In the AFC North, after a hard-fought battle in the Super Bowl but coming up short, the Bengals are going to look to want to go back and win the damn thing this time. Aside from Cincinnati, look for the Ravens to bounce back after losing Lamar Jackson in the final 4 weeks last year. I would consider the Browns on this list because they did acquire Deshaun Watson from Houston, but people, come on. This is the Cleveland fucking Browns we're talking about. They are the jesters in the kingdom known as the AFC North. Let's move to the AFC South, though. I really don't see anyone else other than the Titans coming out of there. Honestly, though, if I could pick two teams to meet up in the AFC Championship, I'd honestly have to go with Buffalo and Cincinnati. If Cincinnati can build an offensive line for Joe Burrow, not only can they make a run this coming year, but they could probably win the whole damn thing. The San Diego, yeah, I said San Diego, big whoop, you want to fight about it? Anyways, the San Diego / LA Chargers have always had some good teams put together to make a Super Bowl run, but always came up short, even with guys like Phillip Rivers and LaDainian Tomlinson leading the helm. With some mediocre seasons in the 2010s, plus a few playoff appearances here and there, the Chargers are for sure a team on the horizon in the AFC West. Unfortunately, they have some stacked teams to compete against if they want to make a serious run this year. While they have a good offense going with draft pick Justin Herbert under center, it's the defense that I believe will help them. With the offseason here, you never know what's going to happen and who's going to go where. I mean, hell, something crazy could happen, like, say, Khalil Mack going to the Chargers, getting traded from the Bears. I only say something like that because it fucking happened. First of all, Chicago, you're either dumb or just plain stupid for letting Mac go. Second, I'm more surprised LA didn't throw in some deep dish pizzas and Italian fucking beef sandwiches aside from the fucking draft picks you got in return. Needless to say, though, with Mac coming to the Chargers, their defense just got a whole lot scarier. And they look to be in a good position to make a possible run this year. You know, with Tom Brady retired, the Super Bowl is anyone's game. No more analysts saying they believe the Bucs are going to be the favorites because Tom Brady is no longer with them. This season should be a great one to watch, right? No need to worry about Brady or whatever team he plays for to wreak havoc, right? Oh, you'd think that'd be the case, but instead, after 2 months of retiring, Brady decided to unretire and return to the Bucs for his 23rd fucking season. So now we know that the Bucs are going to be the clear favorites to come out of the NFC South. However, there's a possible trade brewing with the Panthers to try and land Deshaun Watson. But again, we'll get to that in a moment. For now, Brady is coming back for his 23rd season and going to the Bucs. This dude really stepped away from football for 2 months and decided retirement wasn't for him. He sat there and thought, you know what? I'd rather get chased by a 300-plus pound defensive lineman who can run a 4.7 40 than deal with my kids. All jokes aside, seeing how supportive his wife and kids are being with him returning to football shows they know how passionate he is about the game. But dude, my God, what else do you have left to fucking prove? You got 7 Super Bowls. You've shown time and time again that you can play at an elite level in your late 30s, early 40s. What else are you trying to prove to us? That you want to be the oldest player to win multiple Super Bowls? Enough is enough, my guy. You're already a first ballot Hall of Famer. Give it a rest. Oh, 'tis a happy day for Deshaun Watson as he was found innocent of all the accusations made against him by the Houston massage therapists. In case you missed what happened, be sure to go watch my last video about what went down with Watson and the Texans. Now that Watson is finally free to go back to playing football, the Texans are putting him on the market and numerous teams emerged and became interested in trading for him. Teams like the Panthers, the Browns, the Saints, and most recently the Falcons. The Colts tried to make an offer to land Watson, but Houston declined as they didn't want Watson still being in the AFC South. What's the matter, Houston? You don't want to get your asses handed to you by your soon-to-be former quarterback? In any case, out of the teams that are interested in trying to land Watson, I could see him going to Carolina. Granted, they have Sam Darnold, but I feel that Carolina would include him in the deal so that they could bring him to Carolina. Also, if he were to go to Carolina, that would make them a serious contender against the Bucs to come out of the NFC South. I could see Watson going to Atlanta, but unless they feel like giving up Matt Ryan to try and land him, I don't see it happening anytime soon. Cleveland just straight up, wouldn't be a good fit for Watson. There's no fucking question about that. Now, the Browns have looked good on paper, but they have failed to deliver with the talent that they've had over the last few years. I haven't seen a bigger bust of talent like this since the 2011 Eagles. If you don't know about the 2011 Eagles, go look them up, who they had, and the record they finished with. In the end, as I said, I feel the Panthers would be the best option for Watson to go to, and that he would give them a better chance to win. But it seems as though Watson is not going to Carolina. Instead, he's on his way to Cleveland on a 5-year, $230 million deal. A quarterback is one thing the Browns have been lacking in the last 20-plus years. Maybe Watson makes a difference, or maybe he becomes part of the already laundry list of quarterbacks that have failed to deliver for Cleveland. I honestly don't see something like this working out too well. In the time Baker was under center there, the Browns produced only one good season and 3 average to mediocre seasons. And Baker was a Heisman fucking trophy winner too. Now granted, Watson won some national championships with Clemson, but I don't see something like this working out for Cleveland. This is the fucking Browns we're talking about. They have been a joke in the AFC North for as long as I have been alive. Oh, God. Now, with the Cleveland Browns landing Deshaun Watson, Baker Mayfield is without question out as the Cleveland quarterback. He made it very well known that he would like to be traded to the Colts. I can't say I really blame him because aside from the Carson Wentz experiment failing, the Colts have a very good team put together. So it would make sense for them to go after Baker, right? Wrong. Instead, the Colts made a deal with Atlanta that would send former MVP Matt Ryan to Indianapolis instead. Honestly, this is a good move for the Colts. Granted, they'll get a few years from Ryan, but much like Stafford going to the Rams, it'll also rejuvenate Ryan. We saw what happened when Stafford went from crappy Detroit to Tinseltown, LA. The dude finally won a fucking Super Bowl. Now, granted, this is a short-term solution to a long-term problem. However, with Ryan under center, this will propel the Colts to a playoff contending, possible Super Bowl contending team. Either way, this is a good move for the Colts and a move that will help them. With the few years the Colts will get from Ryan, they better find their next franchise quarterback. Because since Luck retired, they had 5 different quarterbacks under center. So with Ryan temporarily halting the Colts' time to look for another face of the franchise quarterback, they're more focused on winning and competing for a Super Bowl. It's going to be a difficult road in doing so, but the Colts are for sure contenders with the addition of Ryan. Oh, the avarice never ends. If you thought the Colts acquiring Matt Ryan was crazy, wait till you hear this. Chiefs wide receiver Tyreek Hill is headed to South Beach and joining the Dolphins. Now, in the last episode, I talked about how the Dolphins were, aside from paying Brian Flores to lose, tanking to land better draft picks. Looks like the Dolphins owner decided to finally pull his head out of his stupid ass and get with the fucking program. The craziest part about this trade is that the Dolphins were able to get Hill for 5 draft picks. Kansas, y'all better do something with those 3 picks you have for this year that you got for Hill, because you fuckers just lost a key part to your offense. Hill is a rare breed of speed in the department of wide receivers. His speed is something we haven't seen since Chris Johnson. If you don't know who Chris Johnson is, I suggest you open up another tab, go onto YouTube, and watch his highlights. There was no way you were catching this man. Dude was a real-life version of the Roadrunner from the Looney Tunes cartoons. So unless you had some Acme products on you when he was playing, you weren't slowing down CJ2K anytime soon. Back to what I was saying, though. That is the kind of speed Hill possesses. Now, for Miami, with guys like Waddle and Parker, assuming he can stay healthy, and now Hill, the Dolphins could be in a position to be playoff contenders this year. Which is a weird thing to say since their owner was more focused on losing and getting draft picks versus wanting to compete for a championship. However, with how stacked the AFC is, especially the AFC West, it's going to be hard for the Dolphins to make a possible run. If they make the playoffs, they don't see past the wild card. But hey, crazier things have happened, right? And I cannot wait for the 2022 season to start. Now, we got plenty of time before football season begins and who the contenders will be. But for now, let's take a trip to the land of basketball, because once upon a time, there was a team by the name of the LA Lakers who not only were heavy favorites to stand alone atop the Western Conference, but also be a favorite to win it all and dethrone the defending champion Milwaukee Bucks. Man, what a fucking blunder that ended up being. The Lakers, or should I say Fakers, have been nothing but an absolute fucking joke this year. With the amount of talent they have, there is absolutely no fucking way they should be 31-42, sitting in the 10th seed and being on the verge of falling out of the play-in tournament in the Western Conference. This experiment has failed, and it's only a matter of time before we see pathetic James want out of Tinseltown to go play somewhere else. Now for the top three teams in the West, being the Suns, Grizzlies, and Warriors. It's honestly anyone's game for the top spot, but the real question is, who will be coming out of the West? Honestly, I like the Grizzlies. They have been playing at an amazing level, and Ja Morant is turning into a superstar with each passing game. If Memphis continues to keep playing at the level they're playing at, they could very well end up walking away with the championship this year. For crying out loud, the Grizzlies are 16-2, possibly looking to go 17-2 without fucking Morant. Not only that, but they're also sitting at 51-23. The last time they had a 50-plus win season was back in 2013 and 2014. I like the Grizzlies as a series contender this year and believe they will come out of the Western Conference. Mark my words, people. Baseball season is on the horizon, and man, oh man, it's about goddamn time we are finally getting a season. It honestly took the MLB and MLBPA long enough to pull their heads out of their asses so we could get a full season of baseball. With the stupid nonsense being over, moves immediately started being made. The most notable move is that the Braves' first baseman, NL MVP, and World Series champion Freddie signed a 6-year, $160 million contract with the LA Dodgers. Now, granted, the Dodgers have a great team and they've made numerous playoff appearances. However, they only have one World Series, being 2020, to show for it. They're mostly known ending the regular season with one of the best records, only to choke in the playoffs, whether it's the NLDS, the NLCS, or the World Series. Just because the Dodgers signed Freeman, I honestly doubt this will change anything. The Dodgers are definitely the favorite to come out of the NL West, but I don't see them winning the World Series anytime soon as long as we have 162-game seasons. Oh man, oh fucking man. A lot happened while I was gone, but as always, for those of you who aren't able to keep up with what's going on in the world of sports, I always promise to deliver and keep you guys in the know of what's going on and who's going where. Now that I'm back, be sure to keep an eye out for next week's video. My God. Who knows what'll happen come next week. Before I go, make sure you guys smash that like and subscribe button and leave your comments below on the topics covered. I'll see y'all next week. Peace out.